Yeah.
All right, we've been waiting to see who the team for Hard Knocks will be this year. No one wanted to do it, and I'd love to know what the story is as to how the league finally convinced the Raiders to willingly do it. But, Chris, how do you think your old coach, Jon Gruden, is going to handle an assignment that he seemed to not want? He didn't want his team, his training camp, to be invaded by NFL Films camera crews. How's he going to handle it going forward?
Well, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be can't miss TV. This is one year where, I watch Hard Knocks every year, but I'm not saying I'm clued in, the night it's released every week, right? This is a year I will be because I've been around Jon Gruden. He's going to put on a show. First of all, when the cameras are not there, he puts on a show. That's just the way he is. He's an animated personality. He's going to talk crap and, say funny things and all that. I think he'll play to the cameras for the most part. He'll have a chunk of time, maybe 10 minutes every day, where he wants to, mother F HBO and all the cameramen around him, and they might lead to some great sound bites where he says a lot of four-letter words about guys all up in his crap when he's trying to prepare a game plan or something like that, which is also going to be awesome, let alone the personalities around them. So I'm excited for it, Mike. I think he is made for this show, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, I think that it just that hesitation, and he'll know how to play to the cameras. Look, one thing that I noticed about him, the moment he came back to coaching, how much better he was, how much more polished he was after 9 years of TV.
Right.
So he's going to know what to do. I just think that in his mind, we got enough to worry about. We're playing games in 3 different countries this year. We're in the process of moving. We got a 2-month window where we don't have a home game.
Yeah.
I don't want to have worrying about the camera because I think he will be keenly aware of it. He will change the way he acts, and that's going to take attention away from his primary job, which is to get his football team ready. I think he'll be good, but it's going to piss him off that he's got to be worried about playing to the camera instead of worrying about taking care of business.
That's correct, Mike. And you're right. They got a lot on their plate, the Oakland Raiders. It's a big year for that football team. We know the move is looming, all of that. Yes, the schedule is hard. You mentioned that. And if I'm Jon Gruden, I'm a little scared of the personalities on my team too. They got like Mike Mayock said, it's not a bunch of choir boys out there. It's certainly not. And they got a few players that are not going to be afraid to say things. They don't care if the cameras and the mics are around either way. And I would be more worried about, the show trying to make some, what do I want to say, obstacle for the team, maybe pinning one player against another player or the coaches versus a player. Those are the things I would worry about the most as a coach. I don't want any false narratives, I guess is what I would say out there.
No, I agree with you completely, and it's just more on his plate. It's more on the team's plate to avoid a scene ending up in the show that would be as awkward as the Hugh Jackson-Todd Haley argument from last year. There's got to be a lot of concern here, and I just want to know what kind of agreement was reached, whether the Raiders get consideration for something they want unrelated to Hard Knocks, or it's made abundantly clear that they will have the power to remove anything they want. That Jon Gruden and Mike Mayock are going to watch it independently 2 days before it goes to air, and they're going to be able to say, this goes, this goes, this goes, this goes. We don't want it in there. We don't want the team to be presented in any light other than the most possible positive and favorable way that they can.
Right. Yeah. I don't know how that works. I would actually be really interested. Obviously there's some filter here because HBO can't be going in there and, letting up the signals, whether it might be the signals for certain routes or audibles or things like that. So there's got to be some gauge. But yeah, I wonder how far that really goes to where
I would only agree to do it if I have absolute control over what comes out, and anything that would be strategic or anything that would be awkward or anything that would be that would paint the team in any remote way in a negative light. I would want to be able to say it's out, find something else. You got all these cameras, you got all that footage, find something else to put in for that 30 seconds. And I think Gruden, I think before Gruden would ever agree to be cooperative and happy and anything other than a complete and total jerk to the film crews, I think he would want that assurance. I know I would want that assurance. Yeah, otherwise, I don't want you around.
But do they have that, kind of like, or is this the NFL just says, no, this is, you got it, and here's the rules we've already made. How to, that's where I don't know how it works.
There's always been a sense that the team has control over what ultimately ends up being broadcast. Brian Billick, the coach of the Ravens, the first team that was the subject of Hard Knocks 18 years ago, has said that. I think what happens, though, is sometimes the producers will talk the teams into doing things. Hey, this is a great moment. Look, we got to be true to the show. We got to show people how it really is. I have, like last year with the Hugh Jackson, Todd Haley thing, my guess is they convinced somebody in Cleveland this was actually good to let this real human moment be broadcast, even though it made Jackson and Haley look bad and they eventually got fired. So I think if I'm Gruden, I want to be damn sure. And think about it, Gruden and Mayock, both experienced and skilled media professionals.
Right.
We want to be damn sure that there's nothing in there that can be used against the Raiders. All right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.